So I spent the past like 10 minutes أعدل بالمكان so it doesn't look like إنه أنا قاعدة بالقاع, but apparently it's gonna look like أنا قاعدة بالقاع. Because guess what? I got my Bala mug, which I got for 1000 dinar بالشارع, approved. Okay, and I got my water bottle وياها Powerpuff Girls straw. And we are starting another episode of Book Yaps with Tarneem. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. There's going to be some life updates. There's going to be some... My sister is mentioning me in the group chat. I have to check. Give me a second. حاولت قدر الإمكان إنه هاي ما تطلع crooked, but for some reason it's gonna look crooked for the rest of the video. So on this episode we're gonna do something very different. Instead of doing some book reviews, I'm going to recommend some books for you given the autumn vibes that are happening. It's not really autumn, بعدني شغلة سهلة, but I'm gonna recommend some books regardless that are giving winter/autumn vibes. These books I've read over the past 4 years. Some of them I read in 2020, some of them I read recently, and I'm just gonna recommend my top favorites, gonna mention the plot and how much did I give them as a review. Some people ask about my review system. I don't have a system. I just hit as much stars as I like. So I've been really disconnected from social media and Instagram lately because I've been so busy with work. We have a teeny tiny wedding at our house. My sister is getting married and it's just been a roller coaster of the past 2 months. I've had so much work in September and early October, and now that we're in October I've finally got some time to breathe. Hopefully it lasts a little while. I recently went to the gym after صارلي كم شهر عايفته. I think since February, and yesterday رجعت. Hopefully I'll stick to it this time because I have back pain and it's starting to get really affected by my work posture because I sit on a desk and just chick. And when I used to study like that, my back pain used to hurt so much, and now that it's back I was like, so without any further ado, let's get started. I need to review my notes because I did write some notes on the books, so give me one sec. Okay, so the first book I'm going to recommend, which is Comfort Me with Apples. It's not a book really, it's a novella, which is like a very short book. It's very haunting. I loved it so much. Some people say it's a psychological horror. I guess it's just a domestic fairy tale that transforms into something else. So to tell you more about this book follows the main character Sophia, who she recently got married and she moved to Arcadia Gardens, or she already lives in Arcadia Gardens. I don't know, I read this book in 2022. Yeah, 2022. قبل 3 سنين تقريبا. And she has this like perfect life, perfect husband, perfect house, perfect neighbors. Everything is just on point and she's very comfortable, but her husband is always away on quote-unquote business. So it transformed from a domestic fairy tale into, some people say, a psychological horror. To me there was not a lot of horror aspect to it. It was more of a interesting thriller. It has elements of the story of Adam and Eve, so there's a lot of religious metaphors included, and how much the cost of knowledge can disrupt the so-called perfect life. So I give this book 4 out of 5 because it was that good. I would recommend this book to anybody who wants to start reading English books but they have trouble holding on to one, or they want something with an easy language. I really like this book. The idea of it is really nice. Still remember this book every time somebody was like, hey, I want to start reading English books, what do you recommend? And I would instantly say, read Comfort Me with Apples. This book is a collection of 3 stories for Daphne. She's one of my favorite writers of all time. She, in this like I don't know if you guys remember, I posted on my Instagram story saying this book was lost, and we finally found the person who borrowed it. I got this from random store. I don't remember what it was, but كان هيك في صفحة online they used to sell vintage books, and this book is very vintage. Okay, it was published in 1920. I think it's the first edition. It has all of Daphne du Maurier's novels, I guess. What I would recommend, it's one of my favorite books that she ever wrote, which is Rebecca. To tell you more about Rebecca is a very, very haunting book. I remember I read it while listening to the audiobook, because it was such an old book, to the point I was like, maybe I can't really read it. I'm not sure if I can. كنت خايفة لا language مالته would be too hard for me, but it was not. It was really good. So I read my cousin Rachel right afterwards, and maybe I'm gonna read Fisherman's Creek soon. However, let me tell you more about Rebecca. So the book Rebecca follows an unnamed main character narrator who gets married to, I forgot his name. Let me double check his name. Hold up. Okay, Maxim de Winter. I don't know. I know she marries this rich ass guy. So she falls in love with this rich guy. She gets married. She moves into his house, which is in Manderley. And the first sentence of the book is one of the most famous haunting bidayat to any book. If you know, you know. And it's such a good book because it starts off the unnamed character is having like this perfect life with her husband, and then she starts struggling and feels like she's living in Martin. I don't know, I'm gonna call him Martin from now on. She lives in Martin's ex-wife, late ex-wife, Shadow, who's called Rebecca. She was this like perfect housewife. All the housekeepers are very loyal to her. Everybody loves her, but she starts uncovering a lot of truth, and she starts like, it deals with a lot of insecurities, and it's like a thriller, but in a really, really good way. I kid you not, I gave this book a 5-star review because it was so smooth and so good, and I remember reading it, I was like, oh my god, this book is such ahead of its time. Let me see when it was published, because the last time I remembered it was published in 1920, which is a lot. But yes, I really love this book. This book is, I guess the genre is romance, thriller. I don't think it's horror. Mystery, yes, definitely mystery. I would recommend this book to any person who's trying to read classics. I don't really read a lot of classics. I find it very hard to have the mental capacity to just go back and forth within these books, but this one was very different for me and I loved it so much. So the third book I'm gonna recommend, which is the Welcome to the Hyunam-dong bookshop. I'm not sure if I butchered the name. I tried to say it as fast as I can so I don't butcher it, but I read this book this year. جت مرحلة ذات ذكرية, and I read it because I was really going through a tough time. This book, oh my god, it came at the perfect time. So most of the books I recommend are the main character are women, which says a lot. But I love this book because this book follows the main character. I forgot her name and I don't want to butcher her name from what I remember, but she quits her corporate life, she leaves her husband and she starts new, and she opens a bookstore that has a cafe, and we follow her life and we follow how she's trying to get used to the comfort and the easygoing life, I guess non-corporate you can say. And it's such a slow book that I love so much. It's one of the, I think the genre is called healing fiction, which is like, it's amazing. It's a Korean book. I love this book. I would die on a hill for this book. If I could read this book 10 times, I would. I was planning on reading it for the chapter 1 book club, but there's a lot of struggles happened with this book. Like, I remember we tried to get it, but it was very difficult to get, so we ended up not getting it, I guess. But soon inshallah we're gonna get the book, and there is this recipe inside this book which I'm dying to try out, which is like rice, belayun, and a lot of soy sauce and sesame and green onions, and it doesn't sound good, but like the way she described it was amazing. I give this book a 5 out of 5 star review because I think it came at the right time. I always find that certain type of books will find you when you need them the most. Like I think I just saw a picture on Pinterest and I was like, oh, that's a really cute cover, maybe I'll read it out. And I read it and I was like, whoa. So the fourth book, it's gonna sound a bit insane, but this one is called The Raven Scholar. It's by Antonia Hudson. I normally don't read a lot of fantasy books, but they're starting to grow on me, okay? And I love them so much. So The Raven Scholar follows Nima Kra. Yes, that's her name. And Nima in general is not a good or bad character. She's one of those very, very humane characters that she steps on the gray line of things. It's not always black and white, which I loved so much. There's this, like, the Imperior is stepping down from his throne after 25 years of peace or something, and they have to do these contestants in order to win the throne, but the Raven contestant like dies, and she's in charge of the investigation because she's a top scholar, and she somehow gets put into the competition itself. And it's just like, it sounds crazy, I know, but like, to me that was like the ultimate comfort book. I read this book and I was like, I was so involved in it. It's like one of those very, very fun things you do, sort of. I guess it's like a movie or something. If it was a movie, I would definitely watch it. Okay, so one thing you should know about this book, this is not necessarily a romantic book. There's not a lot of romance elements. It mostly focuses on the world build-up, the everything build-up. I'm thinking there's going to be a sequel to it. I don't know, but I felt like reading The Hobbit. I've never read The Hobbit. I just felt like watching The Hobbit, but like in books, but we're not gonna tell people that. So the last book I'm going to recommend, which is none other than I Who Have Never Known Men. Oh wait, I do. No, I did not have the book. I gave it to my friend. Okay, so my friend borrowed the book. I wanted to pull it out of the bookshelf, but then I remembered I don't have it. So the last book, which is I Who Have Never Known Men, we read this book for the chapter 1 book club. It was our first book. We had the best discussion session ever. I gave this book 5 out of 5 star review. It's such a fucking good book. It was one of the best books ever. To tell you more, basically there is a underground dungeon or bunker, and it has 39 women and 1 child, and there are guards that are all around them. They don't have any memory, or like little to small memory, of the life that they left behind, and they don't know where they are. And then I'm gonna talk very fast because I'm really excited about this book, so bear with me. And this, how can I say this? How can I describe this book without giving a lot of spoilers? اكو شغلة تصير, okay, that we can't tell you what it is, but like a huge change of events that happens, and you kind of follow the main character, اللي هي كانت الطفلة that grew up, and you watch her go through life. And like the book itself, it was like a personal diary to this woman slash kid slash teenager. I don't know, she's even nameless, she doesn't know her name. They just called her child. And it's a book about survival, it's a book about humanity, it's a book about sharing your life with other people. It has a very, very deep philosophical point of view that I did not think about. I remember in the book club, one of the girls said she was the true representation of what being human is like. It sounds stupid when I describe it, but it was a really deep moment. It was a deep philosophical moment. Okay, you just gotta trust me on that. I don't know, I really love this book. Would I read it again? Not this year, maybe I'll read it again next year. وما بقى شي على سنة. It's a very short book. I think the things start to kick off بعد صفحة 45. As soon as you finish صفحة 45, everything just starts running and you start like jumping ahead with it, and I could not let this go. I finished it in 2 to 3 days, I think, while having so much work to do. So I guess this is your sign to read this book. By the way, I don't know if I look like I'm wearing a lab coat. I'm wearing this very oversized shirt and it looks like I'm wearing a lab coat, but I just did not care, honestly. I am currently reading The Age of Magical Overthinking for the Chapter 1 book club. I haven't finished it. I'm very slow and I'm very late behind. I'm still on chapter 4. I have so many chapters to go. Okay, the book discussion is in a few days, but I did not have a single moment to myself this month or like in September. I barely even had time to breathe. But you know what? I'm gonna make some carrot cake today. I'm gonna make some puff pastry. And I'm just gonna enjoy my day. I have a few meetings, but then again I'm meeting my friend at the end of the day. So I don't know if you guys usually enjoy autumn themed or winter themed book recommendations or book recommendations in general, but you can let me know. And if you guys would like to do book reviews instead of book recommendations, I will probably not take a lot of opinions on that, like, because I'll always do whatever hits in my mind. I tried to do a rating vlog, but then for I who have never known men, I guess, but then I just shot 2 videos and اكتشفت and I have to wear hijab every time I read it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that, no. طبعا خليت نشرات شو اسمه البوك شوب مالتي. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I hope you do. I also wanted to show you guys something which I'm very happy about. Give me 1 second, let me go grab it. So I don't know if you guys know, بس أنا كترت روحي حتى I get these like cookies that توقع كل بيبياتنا كانوا عندنا منهن and كان يحطون بها أدوات خياطة، فحرفيا استقتلت حتى ألقاها. And for some reason I found it. Look how cute this is. This is winter. This is, I guess it's summer, but to me it's gonna be autumn. And طبعا cookies كانوا يموت كلش طيب. I forgot how good they taste. And I was like, you know what? You know why I wanted to buy them? Let me show you why I wanted to buy it. لأن رديت أحط أدواتي مالت الطريز بداخلها والأوبر والغراض لأن كانوا مطشرات بكل مكان. And I was like, you know what? I get it, Grandma. I guess this is the 3rd episode of Book Yaps with Tarneem. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for coming here, for watching till the end of the video. I'm gonna make a cake now.